Okay, so I think we will start with whatever we are doing. I will turn. Okay, great. Thank you so much. So we will start. And hi, Sharanya. I will just turn my camera onto my table so you guys can see what I'm doing. So this is the MDF that I have. It's a 6-inch MDF. So we are going to work on this. What I will do first is I'm just going to prime it with gesso. It is always good to prime your base with gesso. If you don't have gesso, you can always use a white acrylic paint. That's absolutely fine. The reason we prime is because MDF is a porous material. When I say porous, it seeps, like if you paint on it directly, it seeps into the material. There are small pores, so it seeps into the material, or the material kind of sucks the paint, so you won't get the actual color of the paint or whatever work you're doing. So it's always, so what this gesso or the primer does is, gessos are pretty much thicker than your normal paint, so it will go and seal the surface. So whatever work you do on top is going to show nice and brighter, definitely. So that is the reason we always prime our base. So it's very important. Your work also will stand out much better when you prime the surface. So I will just dry it with my dryer, so please bear the noise. Geetanjali Abbas, so it depends on, for pine wood and mango wood base, it depends on what work you want to do on it. So if you're going to do resin kind of a work on pine wood or mango wood, you don't need to prime it. But if you're going to do decoupage work, obviously decoupage also needs a base, so you have to prime it. So that is the difference. So it depends on what work you really are doing on the base. So now what we will do is, I have, this is dry. Now I am going to be dividing this heart into sections. So let me just draw the center first. So we are going to be doing mixed media, decoupage, stenciling, a lot of work here. Okay, so I have divided this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sections here. I am going to put a masking tape on these. Okay, I have just put masking tape here, and the decoupage paper that I'm going to be using today is this. So before that, yeah, so what I will do is, I will take a lighter shade that matches my pink, and I am going to just paint my sections in different shades. So I am taking this color and I'm just going to be giving this a little vintage look. So what I'm doing is, I'm taking some brown. It's very easy to give that distressed vintage look. Take some color, very little color, and mix it with water. Mix it with a lot of water, make it runny. So I've just watered down my paint. Now what I'll do is, I'm just going to go over the edges here. Water it down nicely. This is to give it that distressed look. You can even completely cover it so that you don't have a very bright finish, but distress finish. You have to be very quick with this technique, and then you have to just dab it out. So can you see the difference? So that is how you give a distress finish. It's very easy. Take your brown and all you have to do is just cover the edges. You have to be quick with this technique because if you leave it to dry, the color is going to stick to the base. So you have to be a little quick with this. Just color it around and then you can take some water and just spread it. So this will give you a nice, it won't be a bright pink, but it will give you a nice distress finish. So we want a very old age look, and that's the reason we are distressing it like that. So now this part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to decoupage with this paper. So I will just cut a straight edge for this one side. For decoupage, it is very essential that you paint the base in white or any light color, but I always do white. That brings out the color and the texture or the designs of the paper very well. You cannot use, even if it's a black decoupage paper, you always put the base in white. So this is how I am going to place this. So I take my Mod Podge, decoupage glue, whatever glue you have, and when you're doing decoupage, make sure that you don't put too much glue. There should be just enough glue for the paper to adhere. And also make sure you're not leaving any space on your surface without the glue. So what happens when you leave any space without glue is when your paper or your napkin is going to bubble up and give wrinkles. So wherever there is no glue, your paper will lift up and bubble, and we don't want that. So I am placing this here like this. And another technique to get wrinkle free finish on your decoupage work is always don't place it down, don't press it with your finger. Place another plastic sheet on top like this and just press it in an outward direction so that even if there are any wrinkles or bubbles, they will be removed when you press them out like this. It's very important. When you do this, you get a very, very smooth wrinkle free finish. Can you see that? There are no wrinkles. So it gives you a very nice finish. And also another tip is that before this dries, do not apply another coat of your decoupage glue. That will also give you a lot of wrinkles. So you should always dry the first layer before you go over and give another layer. So now this is dry. Now I will go and give a generous amount of decoupage glue over it. This is very, very important step. Do not skip this step. Number one, this is to seal whatever decoupage work that you have done. Number two, what will happen is when you do this step, later whatever painting, paint blending, stenciling that you do, it will not affect this. Even if it comes on this paper, you can just wipe it with a damp cloth. So that is very, very important. And also another reason is this gives longevity to your projects. So your projects will stay nice and bright for longer time. It will not become yellowish. So this step is very important. So let this dry now. What we are going to do here is I am going to be doing some stenciling work. Okay, I have put the masking tape again here, and I am going to choose a nice stencil. So I am going to use this stencil. I am going to place it here like this. and I'm taking my mixed media paste or texture paste, whatever you call it. You can also make it on your own. It's very, very easy. You can find that video on my YouTube channel. You just need 3 ingredients to make your own texture paste. So I am just taking some texture paste and I am going to apply it here. I love texture work. It just adds so much beauty to your projects. See, texturing adds so much beauty to your project. It really looks really nice. So another tip when you're using texture is that you always wipe off the texture paste from your stencil and you immediately dip it into water. I have a bowl of water here. So I'm just dipping my stencil in water immediately. So this way your texture paste will not dry on your stencil and it'll stay nice for a longer time. That's very important. I just thought I will also decoupage in one other place. So I think I'll decoupage here as well. Okay, by the time that dries, we will go over this. I'm taking a sandpaper. This is 80 grit, I think. You can take 80 or 100 or anything. And I'm just going to sand these extra. See that? So now what I'm going to do is I will just cut a straight strip to decoupage here. Now we'll do a little more of our blending work on these sides here. Be generous with the top coat always, because that is going to seal your project. Do some kind of stenciling here as well. You can just play around, guys. There's nothing. So I have this just like a small stamp, and for stamping what we'll be using is archival inks. So I have my archival ink here. Let that dry, and what I will do is I'm also going to paint this part in a dark color just to give that vintage feel. So this archival ink again is a permanent ink, and so it will not come off. So what I do is I have put it on an acrylic block and I'm just pressing it onto my archival ink here. Some people also do this. You can even do that. Take your ink and dab it on your stamp. It's fine. Just make sure the stamp has taken the ink well. And I am going to put it here. I hope it comes out well. Press it. Yes. So we just want that faint. Can you see that faint? It's nice. I like it. Vintage is always not crisp designs, very subtle, faint, smudgy designs. That is the beauty of vintage. Now I'll do one from here. So doesn't overpower. Can you see how beautiful that looks? Hope you guys like it. I think I'm not going to overdo it. And always even the stamps. So another tip, I always have baby wipes handy with me for decoupage work. It is the absolute necessity because it has some soap in it. You can clean your stencils, even if some color comes on to your napkin after you finish your top coat. You can just wipe it off. It will come out really clean. So you can just clean your stencils and your stamps with the baby wipes and then put them back in your stash. So I always I buy a cheap quality of baby wipe, not your Johnson's and Mom and Me or anything. Just buy a cheap quality and keep it with you. It's really, really good. So we are done with this work. Isn't that beautiful? Now again, coming to our, I think I need little more of distressing. So we can now go over the corners and distress nicely. Can you see? It's very vintage and beautiful. I want to do something here as well. This is a problem with me. I cannot stop. So what we will do is, I'm just going to take this other stencil that I have and I'm taking my small stencil brush. So now I'll use a lighter color. When you're stenciling, make sure your color is not runny. It has to be thick, and always wipe off the excess color onto a tissue paper or a newspaper or whatever. And there are two ways to do this. One is you can dab. One is you can dab like this. The other one is you can just brush it like this. So when you dab, it gives you a crisp image. When you brush it, it gives you a faint image. And we want it faint only. We don't want too crisp. So I'm just brushing it. See, now it's not too bright. The brown is not too bright. It's nice. I like this. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Very vintage. Make sure to always remember to do the sides as well. So when you're finishing like this, see, some paint sometimes comes over. So that is when you use this wipe. All you have to do is just wipe it off. It will nicely wipe. You won't have any problem. Even if the paint comes on top, you can just wipe with this. Okay, so this is our first heart. Let that thing dry. Now I have another small chalkboard heart here. So I'm going to be hanging this. I'll paste this here down like this. Okay, I'm going to be pasting this down like this here from this. And okay, all this I decided, I initially planned to do only this, but since I made it a giveaway, I thought, something nice for whoever is going to win it. So I added these other heart things. So I'm going to be pasting this like this, and I have another small heart, and in this I'm giving this for you to put your family picture or the people who you love, any picture that you want to, and that is going to come here down. And I'm going to give this space for you guys to paste your picture. Whoever is going to win this giveaway, You can paste your family picture or your lover picture or your mom's picture or anything that you want to put here. You can do that, and you can write your quotes here, and that is going to be really nice. So this is what I'm going to do, and I'm also going to give you a hanging here so you can use it. This was very impromptu, guys, so please do share this video and also the giveaway, because I'm keeping it open because it was a short notice. I'm sure many wouldn't have been able to join the live, so I'm keeping this open till tomorrow night or maybe till day after, because I need time to courier also. I'm keeping this open so people can join and try to win the giveaway. So I have this with all my heart. You can, okay, let's do this. We can paint this here and stick it. So okay, let's just do something. So why don't we just do some embossing work here? Okay, I have an emboss ink pad. So this is an emboss ink pad that I have. So what you need to do is, when you're embossing, you just have to press this embossing ink pad onto your MDF or whatever you are going to emboss on. My RT from the heart broke. That's fine. When we stick, we'll stick it together. So just put the embossing glue like that, and then okay, this is, I don't know why I'm doing so many impromptu things which I didn't plan at all. Okay, I have this embossing powder with me. These are one-time you know, investments, guys. You guys can buy it. So tap off the excess, and you can put it back. You don't need to waste the embossing powder. Put it back into your jar. Now right now it looks just like very plain, the embossing. So what I will do is, I have a heat gun. I have a heat gun here that I use for my I'm not sure if it works with hair dryer. Let me try it. It does work, but since it has a very low heat setting, it takes time. But heat gun will have a good setting. So let me plug in my heat gun and show you. Okay, I will do a closer of how this is going to turn. Beautiful. I think you guys can see it. Okay. Can you see? Can you see how it's turning? Can you guys see how beautifully the embossed powder is turning into a gold color? It's so beautiful. See? That's the effect. That's the effect of the embossing powder. Once this dries and I varnish it, before I send it to the winner, I am going to stick this like that. I'll varnish it first and then I'll stick it. And this is how your with all my heart. So this is how it is going to be.